Hello, my name's Daniel King and I'm back in Hamburg for my 12th Power Play DVD. The subject this time is going to be the Hedgehog, a benign and harmless creature, you might think. Not so. Just take a look at this game. Let's plunge straight in and look at some chess. This is a game between Lev Pologievsky and Lubomir Fatachnik from Lucerne in 1982. And I think it's a perfect example of how the hedgehog can spring to life and destroy the opposition. Now, black is playing the hedgehog setup, the hedgehog system, because it's really a system rather than an opening variation. And it's the setup and a system that you can use in many different openings, as we'll see a little later. So what denotes the hedgehog? Well, it's these pawns across the third rank that control all these squares. And that means that it's very difficult for white's pieces to find an entry, to find a route through into black's position. And the reason, of course, that it's called the hedgehog is that white can get a nasty prick with one of those pawns if he comes too close. But I think it's too negative a way of looking at this setup. In fact, there's so much energy behind this row of pawns, and if that energy is released, then white can really suffer. So let's take a look at what happened in this game. It looks like black's pieces aren't really doing much on the second rank behind these pawns. Actually, look what happens here. Black crashed through with d5. Now, as we'll see a little later, this is a really typical hedgehog break, and it's a bit like splitting the atom. One tiny pawn move releases all this extraordinary pent-up energy into white's position, as we'll see now. So naturally, white takes this pawn. I mean, there are many variations here. It's a fantastically complicated position. But let's see what happened in the game. White plays the most straightforward move, taking the pawn. And now, pawn to h4. This really sets the board burning, because, of course, this pawn here is undermining this f-pawn. And white takes this. Black captures, and now the first black piece crosses the fourth rank. The queen crashes through into white's position, and suddenly you'll see that behind these extended pawns there is a huge amount of space. It's like a vacuum that's going to suck black's pieces towards white's king.